Also sickening is Rush Limbaugh for a number of other reasons. But Rush Limbaugh, for the first time, is ashamed of his country. For the first time. Now he's ashamed of his country. Why? And he says, well, he's ashamed of his country because of President Obama and Democrats issuing warnings that not avoiding the automatic cuts on March 1st, the sequestration, that would be really bad. And Rush Limbaugh is ashamed for the first time. Let's listen to audio of this. It's hard to really take this guy seriously now.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in my life, I am ashamed of my country. To be watching all of this, to be treated, to have my intelligence, all of us, to have our common sense and intelligence insulted the way it's being, it just makes me ashamed.
Right. He's ashamed. Rush Limbaugh now is ashamed. This is the first time. He wasn't ashamed. He wasn't ashamed when all of the insane Iraq propaganda led us into a pointless war. He wasn't ashamed when we had a president that was completely incompetent and unable to deal with even the most basic aspects of running the country. He's not been ashamed ever before, Lewis. But now he's ashamed because we're being warned about the negative effect of these cuts.
Funny that these words coming from a man who is one of the biggest stains on this country.
Millions of Americans have been ashamed of Rush for decades.
Yeah, I know.
Rush has been involved in shame for a really long time, but in different ways.
When I talk to people from other countries and they ask me about Rush Limbaugh, I pretend I've never heard of him. Who? No, he doesn't exist.
Hundreds of his advertisers are ashamed of him too because they're dropping his show. So there it is. It came to this. It came to a warning from President Obama about the negative effect of cuts to get him ashamed of his country for the first time. Incredible guy.
Well,
he's so patriotic that it took this long to finally be ashamed.
Perhaps he's turning a new leaf.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, being ashamed of your country, if you think there's something wrong with your country, you can attempt to fix it, right?
Right.
Instead of just claiming that everything's hunky-dory.
Very unpatriotic all of a sudden. No longer, he's now ashamed. No longer proud.
Fascinating.